Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Shine on with Shauna. Woo-hoo! Shine your light and I'll teach you how, because you got it in you and you gotta believe. All about deep conversations and looking aspects about everything. And a little bit of my crafts and my recipes and sharing of others' recipes as well. And my garden, my yard, okay? But today's the topic. I'm gonna get right into it, okay? Here's the title. Childhood programs, judgment, patterns, traumas, etc. need to go away. Okay? Childhood programs, judgment, patterns, traumas, etc. need to go away. Yes, it's a full sentence, but it needs to be addressed a lot here, okay? Because I state so many times, I stated in my YouTube channel here for 4 months over now, okay? And I have to make it clear more and more because it's very important to do so. Because, hold on. Okay, my mic's on. Okay. Anyway, sorry guys. But I have to make it clear because like I said, do you have any baggage in here? Do you have things what doesn't belong here anymore? Doesn't serve you? You need to be the best version of you to shine your light all over the world because the light is in you and you gotta believe it, my lovely souls. Whatever patterns, whatever happened from childhood life, okay? It's not a fault of your own, okay? It's the false self of you walking around thinking it's you. It is time to check in, okay? And I'm going to go on. This is the intro there, a little bit of talking like I do. But you know what? I'm going into it all now, okay? Because this has to be addressed, okay? When you have young adults and they come to you and talk to you, what has happened to them in school systems or online because media hit around, I don't know when it started, media, where the young generation got all the media, okay? And that's where bullyingness comes in and it also happens in the schools. And sometimes parents are not even aware that it's happening. And sometimes teachers don't always help and make it better there too. Sometimes there's not good ones there, okay? I'm sorry, but sometimes we need to address things right away in the school too. Because for the fact is, if someone's getting bullied or picked on and saying, I don't like your hair, oh, I don't like this, oh, you look ugly. Why do you wear your hair like that? Oh my gosh, your hair is crazy. It's this a mess. Why do you think that looks good? That kind of thing. Insults. Judgments at a young age. Where's that coming from when that happens in schools? Where are they getting that for kids to talk like that? And then they get older and they're still talking like that. Why are they doing that? Is it the program, their environments, what they're around? Their childhood life, what they've seen, maybe parents or whoever doing that and they're talking like that? Well, that's how it also happens. In the school system also. And sometimes it doesn't even happen that way fully. It can just happen also in the environment because they're more at school than anywhere else really. It happens there more. Not always the parents. Not always the environment's there. It happens in the schools. And we need to have the schools, the teachers, every single person there had to be aware on that. Because it goes to trauma in years and adult years. Where parents hear about it, what happened to their child. Because there's scars there. There's traumas from the past of going back into that time frame for before even media hit. Like if you have young adults now, like I do, basically, they're going into the, adult time years now. I'm like 51, and I'm sure some of you can relate, okay? Because there's such a thing that we need to be more aware in the school and stop a little bit more and be firm and not enable behaviors. And no one should get an award for their behaviors. That is not tolerated. That's not how it works. That's why there's so much entitlement and selfishness. We need to knock off that. Who's with me on that? Come on, okay? We can have the light shine better with our adult children and with ourselves if we get in here and stay tuned on what's going on in here and not focus outwards and help one another, even in schools, even in workplaces, etc. Because wherever you take yourselves, you go. Because wherever baggage you're carrying, if you have children right now who are young, I'm sorry, better correct your behaviors fast too and your patterns because they're watching you. They know. Kids are innocent, okay? And it's sad later on in years. In adult years, they're not always. I don't know why in adult years, people can't be innocent anymore like they were when they're younger, okay? Why? It's because the patterns, everything, what's going on? That's why there's no innocent in adults anymore. It's been taken out because there's a lot of things that has happened internally, and we need to get aware with that now too. Instead of spread the patterns over and over to other generations. If you're having kids right now and you're starting a life and having kids right now, be aware. You got to stop the programming of having these patterns continue on to your kids. Whatever you're doing, not follow your own. You have a program probably in you and you're not aware of. Whatever behavior or whatever how you're talking or the entitlement or whatever. Or, oh yeah, you should tell that kid at school. Or, oh yeah, you should tell that person in the workforce or whatever when they're starting off a first job or something. Oh yeah, you should tell them that. You should take that position. That's not for them, but or whatever you're feeding maybe BS to them to get back to somebody else or violent way or whatever. What are you doing when you're talking to your kids to do such thing? Is that how you were taught? Because that's how patterns continue. And that's how we're hurting one another. And that's how it's called a pain world. And then you hear from adult children later on when they're talking to you how much they're in pain because of that crap that went on in schools or wherever else before media hit. Okay, and even when media hit and there's things going on media, would you still be watching your children, eliminate them on how much they watch and what they're doing on there? Come on. It's not the babysitter. It's not a good babysitter for them. You got to be aware of what they're looking at. It's important. Very important because then, oh wow, again, patterns continue and they're going to act like that, whatever is feeding off media to them. And they're going to do that. They're going to do that to their wife or husband or whoever they're with or friends. That's not how we treat each other. We got to treat each other with respect, love, kindness, come together and stop the bulliness and stop putting each other down. The judgment. When people judge too much, there's a red flag there. They don't feel good about themselves. And I feel strongly about that people don't feel good about themselves. Because people who put down other people, and it starts at a young age. And why is it starting at a young age in schools? Why kids are doing that to one another? Is because, not follow the kid, because they don't know better. They're getting it from somewhere. Maybe parents or auntie, uncles or cousins or wherever their environment around. We have to stop that now because it'll never end if we don't. We are hurting our children who are coming into this world and who are adult children now, who are trying to become more adults and taking more responsibility and being mature and all that. They're trying their hardest, but when they're up against all this madness, it is very hard. You know the drill, who are older than adult children, you know the drill. So let's help them out. Let's clear all this out because we can make a better place. And it does start with us. And that's why I speak so high on this and volume and with the universe, so it's connected. We all are in spiritual beings. I feel that. And I don't want anybody to have karma because I don't want for anybody to have that happen to them. But we have to be aware, my lovely souls. We have to stop the programs, childhood traumas, or whatever was installed in you. And also make amends with your adult children if you actually didn't be aware of certain signs before and they were coming to you and talking to you about it and you weren't aware or you didn't have interest in them. You're too much maybe partying or whatever you're doing as a parent and neglecting when your kid comes and talks to you. Not following your own. Maybe that's how you had your parents, your program passed on to you and how to be like that for your kids too, because that was how your parents treated you. I don't know, but I'm saying these patterns have to stop. Because there's a lot of young adults out there and children in pain. You could be a good parent and raise them and talk to them and keep interest in them and love them and all that. But you can't, I understand you can't control everything what's out there and what they do and say and who they're with. And hopefully they tell you things because that's why you have to talk with them to have some kind of like open relationship where they feel comfortable to tell you things. And yes, kids are kids. And sometimes not follow your own. They're going to keep secrets and think they can handle it themselves if they're being bullied or whatever, right? We don't know. Why, because they feel like they don't want to also burden you, the parent, also to tell you. So sometimes, It's a big mess. It is a big chaos. It's a big mess. But we have to somehow go in to see where it all started. And it starts with our programs of childhood life and our environments or wherever we're in. Sometimes you think a kid's doing good in school. Oh, it's good grades and all that. Oh, it's a good school. But maybe not. Maybe not fully. For their mental health, maybe they're getting bullied. Oh yeah, they're getting good marks and doing all that. But maybe they don't have anything else going for them there and they feel alone because everybody is pressuring them and bullying them or whatever is happening to them. But oh, those marks are good. That's good. As long as you have those marks. Come on, guys. That's hurting them. Who cares about the degrees and all? Our well-being is at risk sometimes. We have to protect it. Just like our hearts, like I talked earlier on a video. Okay? Love is great. And also plus acceptance. How to accept things. That was a video I did earlier on. And other things I have on this content on my YouTube channel. Okay? Check out. And if you haven't subscribed or liked or watched from beginning to the end, please do. I appreciate your time just as much as I'm doing mine. Because I'm very passionate about this, as you can see. I'm trying to help people, and I'm trying to get everybody awareness here because it has to stop. And if you could spread this out, this encouragement, oh, please help me out here. Come on, I can see the community here. We're wanting change. We're hungry for it. And it does start with us. And we have to teach that to the young generation and our grandkids because it's very much needs to be addressed. Because whatever is going on media, schools, any environment, it has to be stopped. Because sometimes we're not aware until our adult child talks about little bit things from their school, their time frame there, and you maybe weren't aware, and they'll follow your own. Because some things happen, outside media and anywhere they go. But teach them also to stand up and be strong. And also, plus two, even if you do that, they probably don't know how. And they get a little bit scared and frightened to do so sometimes because, mean girls, mean boys, whatever. But we have to teach people to stop putting people down and judgment. Because this is we don't have to have a pain world. We can make a difference. And these patterns have to stop. And the judgments have to stop. Even if you have in-laws who judge you. Who are, oh my gosh, putting you down everything in front of your children, that is not good. You got to pick a good environment. The children doesn't need to hear the in-laws pick on you and put you down, okay? They have traumas or whatever they're feeling or wherever program, whatever they don't feel good about themselves, they don't need to project that BS onto you in front of your children. Don't allow it. That is not called for. It's not a healthy environment for your children to see. I'm aware of that. I know that. Has happened to me, and I had to stand my ground because I knew it's not good for your children because sometimes the in-laws will pick on your child. And you know what? That's after a while you're like, okay, I know why my spouse is the way they are a little bit because, hey, you put all these puzzles together and then you realize where this is all coming from at times, why your spouse is the way they are. And then you realize, oh my gosh. And then your spouse realizes, oh my, I need to look in. If they want to, with your help, and if they don't want to, they don't want to work on themselves, that's not on you. That's on them. Maybe one day they'll wake more and they'll see that they need to heal much more because it would help to make better relationships, especially with you, the spouse, or the children and grandchildren one day, and etc. But that's what I'm saying. These parents really have to stop. There's so much pain these kids sometimes go through because of the past generation of BS onto them. And it's not fair. And I feel so bad because I have girls of my own. I feel bad. And it's very hard for sometimes people making friends, the young ones. Okay? It's because a lot of people are being mean for the sake of not knowing that what they're doing because it's their pattern or whatever program. That's not how you connect. And that's why people feel lost, and there's not much young generation have much true friends, and they don't even know what a real friend is half the time also. And that's screwy Louie. That's like terrifying to think of that. Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Like, what are we doing? We need to wake up now. We're adults. People who are my age or older. We're adults. Come on. Let's wake up the world. Let's help the young generation. Help our kids. Help our grandchildren, etc. And let's be aware of what's going on in the schools a lot more too. I mean, you know what? It's just this. It doesn't have to be, like I say, school. But, oh my gosh, it's just like, I don't know. I need a water, okay? Oh, I'll tell you guys, I don't know. But this conversation can go on and on and on my content right now. And it would be like over an hour maybe, or more, right? I could go on about this. And you too, probably. Drop in the comments how you feel. Because your voice is everything. I want to hear you. You have a voice, just like me. This is how I feel. Because I feel pain. And I see sometimes how I have girls of my own. And I'm sure some of you have kids of your own too. Or you don't, and you're going to be starting. Please be aware. Please be aware of the environment, and please be aware of your patterns to not be onto your children maybe. And if you had no patterns, be aware. Take an interest. Talk with them daily. Try. Get things out of them. Build a relationship. It's very important. Okay, young ones who are starting off a family, be aware. Because patterns have to stop. Traumas have to stop. Where do you think they all come from? Environments. Not good ones. Or childhood life, like I said, over and over too. It could be. You never know. But people have to stop putting people down. And what you say out there, adults, when you talk in front of your adult children or even younger children, and you're talking to somebody not nicely, what do you think? They listen. They have ears. You think they're not listening? Oh, they're listening. Oh, they have big ears in that way. They have ears. They're hearing. They know. So you can't pass anything by them. Kids hear you. They see how you talk. Okay? Especially with your environment. If you have families who are not really good and they're toxic and dysfunctional, you maybe have to think twice, maybe, to having your kids around them. Because it can actually scar them for later on. And then they come to you and tell you, oh, certain grandma or auntie or cousin or whoever said this to me. And I'm like, oh, so it scars you. So basically, it scars them. Okay? They have trauma and you need to help them through it if they're opening up to you. You need to help them, or they could get somebody else to help with that. A good therapist maybe, hopefully out there, who is a good one. Because we don't need just to talk about things. We also need to be helped on and not enabled. Because there's therapists out there who enable. And are we making ourselves better? No, we're not, because we're just enabling. We're giving people what they want. Is that how we stop behaviors? Is that how we end it all? No, we don't. And I'm speaking it bluntly because I have passion, because I went through some stuff myself, okay? And I still am a little bit. And I'm telling you right now, that's not a way to be. Enabling doesn't heal anybody. It doesn't help anybody. Agreeing with somebody, when you're in a therapist's office and you're a therapist, and you're agreeing with whatever that person's saying, you can't always agree with them. You got to also tell them, hey, you got to treat them like children too, because sometimes they weren't raised, and you got to tell them, hey, bad behaviors here. You're just, your wife or husband don't deserve that, or your kids or grandchildren, etc. You got to point out the behaviors that are wrong. You got to be firm as a therapist. I'm just saying, that's my viewpoints. That's how I feel strongly. I don't know who's in on this with me. Voice your opinions and your advice and your experience. Let me know, okay? Drop in the comments. I'm all ears. I love to hear it. But I won't hold you on too long, because I feel like this video is probably going on longer. But what the hell? This is really important, right? I don't care if it does. Because, you know, my lovely souls, I hope this is not you and no fault of your own. like I say, it's the programs or whatever has happened to you. You weren't aware, and maybe now get aware, because realize that we don't have to have a pain world, and we are the world, and we can make a change because we are the world and we can heal it. Okay? And like I said, take an interest, talk with your adult children, ask them daily how they're doing. Just because they're adult children doesn't mean they have it all together. Come on, they need you. Just like us, we're older, we need whoever gives a hoot, okay, and cares. And no judgment and all that. Like, what are we doing? We're causing a chaos here. We're causing the pain world. When are we going to start learning? When are we going to stop doing this? This madness is because the people are allowing it. I'm sorry, the truth to be told here. Truth is the best policy and it sets us free. It makes you feel much better. How much more are we going to lie to ourselves and deny it? And keep on going and thinking it's going to get better. How is it going to get better on its own? I'm just saying, how's it going to get better on its own? It can't. You have to make the change. You have to be the hunger for the change. No one else. It starts with each and one of us. Okay? I can't express this enough. But patterns have to stop. And traumas and childhood life and stuff like that, what reflects on our children because you haven't healed from maybe your baggage and it's reflecting in you're projecting your stuff onto your child or adult child, whatever, or maybe not. You have to know also when they're young, what kind of environment they're hanging out with. What kids are they hanging out with too? Because that's very important to know who they're hanging out with. And if they don't like that, that's too bad. Too bad. You're watching out for them and one day they'll mature enough, your kids or grandchildren or whatever, and they'll realize that you were just watching their back and you're caring for them. You're protecting them. You're watching their safety. That's more important. Who cares if they don't like it? Oh, why are you checking up on me? I'm not checking up on you, you say, because I'm checking up on you because I want to make sure who your surroundings are and if you're okay. Because your safety is important. And that's what you say to them. It's not like you're trying to control them. It's because you're trying to watch for their safety. You care enough and you're taking an interest. And I'm sure one day they'll be grateful of that. And maybe they won't like it for a little bit. But guess what? They'll thank you in a while. They'll realize it. Oh, okay, I see. And they'll get aware and they'll realize that. Because we need to watch one another. It doesn't matter what age you are really also. We need to watch each other's back. Okay? Aren't we supposed to be here on this planet for connections and helping one another? Loving one another? We're in connection with the universe. Isn't this what we're here for? Yes, we are. Not the other way. Not the other way it's going. We're making more of a hard world, a pain world, making it much challenging and hard for everyone and yourselves. Why? Why is the question? When we have the control to change it. We do, my lovely souls. We do. We have the power. We have the control to change it. Because we have the light in us and we can make it all better if we want it. If we want it, that's the question. Do you want it? Do you really want it that bad? Well, get onto it now. Check in with your adult children. Check in with your young kids. Break the patterns of whatever was onto you, how you were raised. Who cares how your parents raised you if they didn't raise you as good and you see that now? Well, maybe make a difference, a change, okay? Do it differently with your kids. I'm just saying. I don't want to tell anybody what to do, okay? Because I'm not here to do that right now. I'm here just to voice my opinions and how I feel and what I see and what I hear also from my girls and etc., okay? I'm just talking from the heart. That's all I'm doing. And I hope this maybe helps or resonates with you and you understand this, what I'm saying because it's hard to explain it fully. Because when you talk from the heart, it's kind of a little bit challenging and trying to like, oh, you want to get everything out, but it's just like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get this all out? And how I make a sentence in it, you know what I mean? Because it's all from the heart. And you know what, guys? We can make it better. I have hope. Do you have hope? I hope so. It rhymes, right? And we need to laugh. We need to have fun. But we need to clear out a lot of stuff, okay? In order to do so. Because it can be fun in the world. It can be fun in the workplaces. It could be fun in schools and universities and etc. Okay? It could be all fun. It doesn't have to be like, oh, my gosh, I don't want to go. Oh, I'm sucked out. I'm so tired. It doesn't have to be draining. It doesn't. It should be uplifting. It should be fun. Why? Why is it feeling that way? Because something's wrong. And we need to get aware. Because our programs, we take ourselves wherever we go. And this is awareness right now I'm doing right now with this title, what I'm saying. It's a long title. I don't care. I had to make one because that's how people can find me. I have to make a title, so they say. I wish not. But yes, that's my title, okay? Childhood programs, judgments, patterns, traumas, etc. need to go away. Yes, they do. They do. It has to be solved someday. And I hope that one day comes soon because life is too short. Don't take it for granted. Start now. Start now. Okay? Raise your kids if you're starting a family. Raise them as much as best as you can. That's all you can do too. I understand. And also watching them 24/7 when they're out there, when they're not near you. I get it. Because you can't be on a radar with them every second minute. I get it. Okay? I get it. But we can also watch who talks to them not right and listen to them and open up with them and say, hey, how's your day? How's things? And keep on doing that, planting the seeds. And don't give up on your children or grandchildren. And don't give up on yourselves. You can change too, whatever has happened to you. And then all these patterns can just fade away. And we can have better environments everywhere. Because we take ourselves wherever we go. So you think, oh, leaving that job will be okay somewhere else, go to somewhere else. Or schools will be better, oh, if I go to a different school. Not always necessary. Sometimes it's also you take yourself wherever you go. Because if you haven't come with here and internally and dealt with things here, how's anything going to get better? Doesn't matter where you go, different relationships or etc. How's it going to make it better when you haven't come here internally to fix whatever here? And especially from childhood life. Or from when you went to school and things happened to you there. You have to come forward now about those things. You don't have to be in pain no more. You don't have to be in pain. It's okay to cry. Not a fault of your own. That's a false self you. And you deserve to be the best version. And I'm sorry if this all happened to you, whatever has happened to you also. Not a fault of your own. But it's time not to live there anymore also. And you don't want to play the victim too long either. Okay? Playing the victim card is not good either. I'm just saying. Okay? Don't want to live there. You want to have a clean slate. The best version of yourself. And have that light shine all over the world because it's in you. It needs to get out. No matter what age you are, we all have the light. I have the light. We all do, okay, my lovely souls? And I hope, I'm sorry, but I just get really passionate because I feel people's pain. I even feel my girls' pain because I love my girls. Okay? So, thank you for being here. And I hope you watch from beginning to the end. And subscribe and like and share and comment. And I love your lovely comments already. I appreciate your time. Okay? But please get with yourself and understand this, what I'm saying. I hope you do. Because it's very hard to explain because it's a big mess. It's a big mess. And we have to stop the mess. Okay? It's too much. Okay, thank you very much. And go on about your beautiful, blessed day we have. And stay tuned on more videos. And hit the notification and stay tuned. I don't know what's going to be coming next, but I'm full of surprises anyway. But just be on alert, okay? So click that notification bell and subscribe and be on the lookout, okay? Thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't know, maybe our body is our biggest asset, basically. Our body is our biggest asset, our health, right? So I don't know how I'm going to put that in title, but maybe stay tuned for that. Our health is our biggest asset. So maybe stay tuned on that, okay? Okay. Love you all. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate your time. So remember, let's make a change. We don't need this anymore. And we don't want to put it on to our children or adult children or whatever, or if we're making a family, etc. You know the drill, okay? Okay. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.